Hey y'all, I'm doing something a little different. I'm starting a series of interviews. I am interviewing people, family, and friends to get their story. The title of this series is Tell Me Your Story. I want to introduce you to my sister, Shaunda. Shaunda, tell me your story.
I was born here in Harlan, Kentucky, at the hospital. I guess that's where they said I was born. My dad had a Cabbage Patch box. February the 15th, 1984. I remember going to Mama's and I would eat some apples off their tree. As a child, we didn't have a lot. We moved a lot when we were younger. I have a sister. She's my best friend. I remember having church and like old timey church, like church would come to the house when my mom and papa was sick, when they couldn't travel or nothing, church come to them. I'd had several pets off and on. I had cats, dogs, and I had hamster. Hobbies and activities didn't have really much, really. I mean, they didn't have cell phones then. I remember going to family reunions and I loved that. That was the best thing ever was. I mean, that was fun. And I thought, man, this is nice because, you know, it's what it's about. Family and love is what it's about. I was a daddy's girl. But I also lost him at a younger age, too. And when you love somebody, that's torture. My great-grandmother was a full-blooded Indian, and her mother was I'm not sure how to say it, but she was full-blooded too. But somehow I ended up getting the fair skin of the family. I guess that would be mom's side of the family. When I was a kid, I was bullied, which I was made fun of. And growing up, like I said, I lost my dad at a younger age. I was bullied because of losing him. I was called names. I faced a lot of battles, but I've overcome them. I didn't really enjoy going to school. I didn't like going to school. I'm not a morning person. So ever since I was young, I sleep late. I like to sleep late. I didn't do really any sports. Maybe like I tried out for cheerleading, didn't do that. And I done Little League basketball. That's pretty much it. My favorite teacher was Miss Johnson. I've got several, but Miss Johnson, she was really nice. She was really nice. She was like an aunt to me, I guess, or like a family member. She was really, really nice. She was sweet. She was caring. She would talk to you. It was just like having somebody to talk to. She was like a friend in school. I worked a few places. McDonald's was my first job. I worked at a factory sewing hats for Army people, for the Navy, and then it got to moving to shirts and stuff, and then I worked at grocery stores and, you know, all that stuff that really Harlan only has. Harlan don't have much. I value my kids. Personal values that are important to me is honesty and respect. Respect, honesty, and it all comes to what you make out of it. But without the honest and respect, there's no trust. So I value all of those things. Trust, honest, and respect. My values have never changed. No matter what battle I have faced in my life, I've always tried to look forward and try to think positive. Happiness to me is my family and making sure and my friends. Religion in my life has been mostly, we were Pentecostal, and then I've went to several churches besides Pentecostal churches, but Pentecostal is what I love. I have a hard time making difficult decisions. I have a hard time making a decision, period. When I'm gone, want people to remember me as funny, loud, and very friendly. And I know that I'm very quiet until you get to know me. I deal with mistakes by looking forward. I don't. Sometimes I do look at mistakes that I had before, and I take what I have today and I combine it together and know that I'm happy what I have today. I have a lot of anxiety from childhood on up to now. Or if I'm not cleaning or doing stuff around the house, it's either coloring on my phone or puzzle or some kind of game or something. The best piece of advice that I was given, if you're wanting God to move something out of your life and whatever obstacle is in your way that is bothering you, if you ask Him to remove that, it'll be peaceful. Events that impacted my life was when I lost my husband and when I lost my father. It really took a toll on me. Becoming a parent changed my life when that was my first love. It's like a first love, but it's a different type of love. And as long as I got them, they make me happy. Yeah, they make me mad. But that's kids. The time that I had to make a tough decision was when I was in a bad relationship, and the bad relationship was abusive, and there was stuff involved as drugs. And I ended up being an addict. Didn't know what the stuff was, didn't know what anything was about. I had no clue. And the biggest decision was to turn my life around, get better. And I switched it just like that. You have to do it yourself. You live day by day. It gets better, and it's a lot better today. I have my kids now. That's what turned my life around. Well, when I was a kid, when you're a kid, you're like, oh, I want to get married, have kids, and all this stuff. And then some things happen, and some things you have, and some things you don't. I realized today that what you have today, to love for tomorrow. I've took many risks, but I won't say and describe my sister as my best friend. And normally that I talk to every day is my mother and Destiny. Destiny was always the one that checked on me. My sister was always the one that checked on me every day, just about it. And well, I've not had a good one since my late husband, so I can't really say. He was the best. That was the best one. And the long-lasting relationships is honesty, trust, respect, no cheating, no lying. When I would feel isolated or disconnected was when I would be by myself, used to, in my anxiety. And I would play the piano, sing, to do something to get my mind off things. Music is therapy. I treasure most about Harlan is the mountains. They're beautiful. How do you decide how to trust? It's hard to trust people these days. Without the people involved in your life, it's hard to trust anybody. The most challenging time in my life was when I had to turn my life around. Hard times from back then shape who I am today. Is back then we didn't have much. And I feel like sometimes nowadays, if I feel like I have to get it, or I'm afraid I'll run out and I have to get it. And I think it's because back then we didn't have that much. We didn't have much. It's hard for me to cope with disappointments. Personal challenges, we do recover. During hard times, it would be my sister. Gave me the strength and encouragement. I'm about to cry myself. You don't look back, you look forward. or a setback would be a major comeback. Activities I feel most passionate about is playing the piano or singing. Well, you start what you finish. You finish what you start. Something I've always wanted to do was pottery. Learn how to do pottery. I would love to do pottery. To my younger self, I would say I knew better. I'm most looking forward to overcoming any obstacle in my way. My dreams, I wished I was a singer, a star, but everybody does. Just like any other time. Well, I mean, it's good or bad, it's what you make of it. But I have a family that I've always dreamed of. Lowering gas prices and lowering grocery bills and definitely utility bills and stuff. I hope I leave a legacy behind to inspire the family or anybody that has been an addict or an alcoholic, but mostly an addict. Don't look back, think positive. Bad relationship is what led me to start doing drugs. But I don't want to.
You want to talk about it?
No.
Shaunda, what do you want out of life?
To be loved. And not be single no more. And have the family that I always wanted. 40 years old. Life's too short. Can you hear me? Where you at? Where are you at? A-R-E. Where are you at? I'm waiting. My name is Shaunda, and thanks for listening to my story.
Anything you want to say?
You get what you get and don't throw a fit.